Good evening, fuckers. We are back with the next Train Simulator Classic request video. This is a request from WLTE Enthusiast 7014. I hope I got that right because I forgot to write it down. Okay. I'm going to be brutally honest about this one. This request was a massive pain in the arse. To the extent that I was getting close to hating this game, trying to do this bloody thing. What he asked for was essentially a completely sort of custom consist that was made up of two class 455 4-car units with a class 456 2-car unit on the end of it, making it a 10-car unit, which meant that I had to do a complete custom consist, as I say. Now, if you're doing a custom consist for a locomotive, no problem, easy. Just bung the locomotive on the front, stick the either, the coaches or the freight wagons on the end, boss, done. It is not that simple with multiple units. It's not even close to being that simple, because it would be a lot easier if, when you're putting multiple units into the custom consist builder, when you select the unit, it puts, well, in the case of the 455, all four of the cars which make up the one unit. No, it doesn't do that. It does each car individually, and the various different cars within the unit all have some sort of like abbreviation name to them, and it's some 4-letter guff that means nothing to me whatsoever. And to really top it off, they are not all powered. Some of them are, do not have a motor in them. And I was quite literally having to just guess all of this. And, so instead of just putting in the two 4-car ones, I was having to build the whole 8-car thing with the 455 parts. And then, say, stick the 456, the two of those on the end. And I must have tried about 7 different attempts. The first one that I tried, it was a 10-car unit. Only 2 of those cars actually were powered. I mean, it moved eventually, but there was no way I was going to drive that. And I say, after fuck knows how many different tries, I finally got what I thought was a setup that worked. And I was already long since past the point where, as long as it worked, I didn't care if it was accurate or not. And then that was when I discovered that, the 455 and the 456 don't really get on too well if they are mixed up with other units, even though it's supposed to be something that they're able to do, providing you're trying to link them up with other multiple units that are compatible with it. And the 455 and the 456 are supposed to be compatible with each other, but not when you try running them in this. I was getting bugs galore, glitches galore, and in the end I just said, right, I've had enough of this. So I've kind of taken the easy way out of it, but like I say, I've long since passed the point where I was looking for the easy way out, and nothing else will do. So I have simply gone for an 8-car 455. there is no 456 on the end. And having gone through all that, I'm adding a new rule to these requests. Custom consists are absolutely fine if you want if you want me to be driving a loco. Don't ask me to make custom consists for multiple units. It ain't happening, not after this. So, with all that said and done, the route is on the Portsmouth Direct Line, and we've done a couple of these lately. In fact, this run is quite similar to a run that was done about 2 weeks ago. So we are starting at Woking. Our destination is London Waterloo. He did give me a list of stations, but with this kind of service, starting at Woking, heading to London, and certainly with the train that we are going to be using, this is going to be an all stops service, no doubt about that. So yeah, it's an all stops one. And the train itself, well, eventually, it's a class 455/9 in the Southwest Trains livery. It's an 8-car train, so yeah, it's 2 of the 4-car units put together. So yeah, that is our transportation. Now, as for the specifics, it is spring, it is clear, and it is 9:35 AM. So we are just into the off-peak time. Nevertheless, well, I mean, this is probably the last of the peak locos for this particular day. So you could even say it's running a little bit late. I mean, it's a quick drive, so it doesn't matter, you know. So, that is the setup. Let's get this up and running. And here we are. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in the intro is that, those issues that I was having, it wasn't just things like lights not working, although that was one such issue. But I'm not the only one to have those issues. It seems as though it is something of a known problem with either the 455 or the 456 or both. I'm going on the assumption that it's both. Anyway, here we are. Now let's get our destination board set up. So we are heading to London Waterloo. There we go. So here is our class 455. Now, even though this is quite similar to a run that I did fairly recently, say just a couple of weeks ago, there is a noticeable difference, or at least I hope it's noticeable. That run that I did a couple of weeks ago, which was Guildford to Waterloo, I was just using the regular AP 455. For this one, I'm using the Yawwie sound pack. So we'll see what sort of differences this audio enhancement makes. So with us being a stopping service, I don't think it's going to keep us in the fast lines for particularly long, yeah, it's already put us over into the slow. And hopefully it will keep us there because, yeah, I want that level of accuracy. We are also in a 40 mph section here, so let's I don't know what the hell is going on with the frames per second. They are very low. So there's a 455 in Network Southeast livery. There we go, it took long enough. Here we are now in the 90 zone, so let's go right the way up the max. So this is a somewhat short run. It's about 25 miles from Woking to Waterloo, but yeah, being a commuter run, especially in a 455, this is the sort of distances that they would have done. They were not long distance trains by any stretch. So West Byfleet is our next, or our first stop. We'll start coasting and put some light braking on, but the brakes on the 455 are stupendously good, so I don't think we're going to have any trouble as far as stopping. So 444 just going through on the other side. Yeah, easily got the full train on the platform there. So here we are at West Byfleet. The next station, Byfleet and Newhart, is really not very far away at all, and that's putting it mildly. Sounds like doors closing. There you go. Much quieter when we signal the guard back, but we're all set. So yeah, Byfleet and Newhart is our next stop. I have to say the new audio is a significant improvement. The previous audio had the usual issues with Armstrong Powerhouse. The audio was rather quiet, the electric motor's really nice and clear now. I'm actually quite intrigued with the 455s. I think they are fantastic locos. I thought it was a dark day when their retirement was announced, although they are still going because their intended replacements are still not ready. The good old Class 701s, the one thing it does well is just constantly go wrong. But I do wonder how much of the 455's like workings, how similar they are to the original PET. Well, it'll be the 507 and the 508 with this because it's third rail. But I do get some really sort of like strong PET vibes from the 455, which is by no means a bad thing. So I've gone slightly past the marker for 8-car train, but oh well. Here we are at Byfleet and Newhall. Next stop is Weybridge. You can see at the end, yeah, no problem at all. So much FPS loss. I think it might be time for a PC reboot. Doors shut. Okay, onwards. So yeah, Weybridge is next. This is another one which is it's a fairly short hop. A pretty good acceleration rate. We're up to about 34 by the time we left the platform. And already Weybridge is coming up. Well, I say coming up, it's still as near as damn it a mile away, but it's on the route display. So something else that I wanted to cover, roughly a week ago, so thinking about it, it might have only been like 5 days, but nevertheless it's roughly a week ago anyway, I posted on the yeah, what used to be called the community tab on my channel about the prospect of me doing reviews of routes and loco DLCs. Well, I did get a response from Nicky Boom, in fact, but yeah, as much as I appreciate him responding, and what he said sounded like, yeah, he was very keen on the idea. Unfortunately, he was the only one. So, yeah, the fact that only one person thought it sounded like a good idea means that, yeah, they won't be happening. Doing review videos would have taken up a lot more time and effort and a lot more editing than these vids do. So, you know, as much as I appreciate Nicky Boom's comment, to say nothing about the fact that he's gifted me a couple of routes in this game, yeah, I needed more than just one person saying it sounded like a good idea, so we'll skip that. So anyway, that was Weybridge. I'm not sure what one's next. That was a bit of a bump there. So we have a temporary reduction down to 80 mph coming up as we go around this rather sharp corner here. So we are now in that 80 zone. There's Walking on Thames that is coming up next. Yeah, I'm stopping a bit too fast here. Well, I'm a bit ahead of the 8-car marker there, but nevertheless. Yeah, here is Walking on Thames. I didn't see what the next station is, but I know it's very close. So, alright, doors closed. Let's get an external shot of us pulling away. not bad. So Hersham is the next stop. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I mean, admittedly, we hadn't got up to a huge amount of speed, so yeah, I don't think there's any danger of us not making the stop. So there's another 444 passing by. So yeah, here is Hersham. And this side looks like we're in the middle of nowhere, unless this is a golf course of some kind here. Yeah, everything else is all this side. No, it's not going to give us a trackside view. I was hoping it would. So I have another rather short 80 mph section. It's not even half a mile long, and then back in the 90. So what I was saying at the start about hopefully it will keep us in the slow lanes, I mean, we are in the right place for the slow lanes, so I can only assume that yeah, the slow lanes aren't particularly slow. It's the same speed right across all four lines. Which does make sense actually when you think about it. I mean, obviously there are freight locos that will be running here, but I mean you've got two lines in each direction, so you can easily you know, go around the you know, the freight trains that may be running. But if they're not running, yeah, use the line, you know, use the full line speed, take advantage of it, double the capacity of the route. Seems like a fine idea to me. I think it's a similar thing they do on the Great Eastern Main Line. They have that set up as well. Again, I'm coming in a bit fast. I am going to miss the 8-car stop, but yeah, no problem as far as stopping in time, you know, without overshooting the platform. And that's my main concern. As long as we don't keep overshooting the platform, I'm all right. Hopefully Jim will get the idea soon that I am recording one. That's now the 4th message in the space of 2 minutes. Anyways, yeah, so this is Isha. Isn't there a race course somewhere around, sort of like Isha way? Alright, well, don't want to go straight up into knots 3. Acceleration seems a bit slower there than I was expecting. I mean, it's not like the acceleration of a 455 is slow, it's just that I thought it would be a bit faster than it was there. I mean, when you consider the max operational speed of a 455 is 75 mph, it does not hang about when it comes to you know, getting up to those sorts of speeds. It's one of several reasons why why I am such a fan of the 455. I mean, these things I think first started running in about 83, 84, but they perform every bit as well as a modern loco. Never mind one that's, you know, over 40 years old. Well, the first big major difference between this and a modern one, i.e. the modern one that's supposed to be replacing it, is this one works. The 701 has been such an utter waste of time. I don't remember seeing one working at all. The only time you ever hear about them is, oh, something's gone wrong with it again, and you know, we've had to send out a you know, a 66 or even a 37 to go out and bloody rescue it again. So anyway, Surbiton is next. Now we're up to 65, so I think we will need to start braking slightly earlier. So I mean, that was clearly a 450 that was nearest us, but I think that one, I think that might have been an old 411. Didn't look like a 455. There was no shortage of 455s that used the old Network South East livery. And unlike the 456, the 455 looked great in the Network South East livery. So here we are at Surbiton. It is a little bit gaudy, the old Southwest Trains livery, but it's not terrible. I do much prefer the Southwestern, I don't know if it's Southwestern Trains or Southwestern Rail, the modern, you know, very dark navy blue and pale grey livery. I've been looking, I've not found a 455 in that livery for the game yet, but I'm not giving up. I'm sure there must be one. I'm sure they existed in real life. Yeah, we got a bit of a wheel slip there. So we're into a 70 zone, we're getting very short. The Berrylands station coming up next. So we are back in the 80 zone. It's not a, a huge 80 zone though. In a mile and a half's time we're down to 60. We need to start braking here. I may have left this one a bit late. Or maybe I didn't. It looks like we're going to be fine. Yeah, we are absolutely fine. So here is Berrylands, which, I mean, it looks alright. It is in snobby Surrey. Actually, is it? It must be right on the sort of boundary between Surrey and Greater London. The Waterloo, 10.92 miles. Yeah, that might still keep it in Surrey then. So, onwards. I have no idea what the next station is. Now we are on level ground here, so hopefully no wheel spin this time. No, we're fine. Okay, I say that. Yep, we've very much got wheel spin going. So New Malden coming up. I'm sure that is still Surrey. That's not Greater London. We don't have to worry about slowing down to 60. We're still accelerating to it. I highly doubt we'll get to 60 before I've got to start slowing for the station. I started braking far too early for this one. I don't know about anyone watching this, but I think the audio enhancement really has enhanced it, and I say that as someone who thought that the original audio for the AP, it was, the only problem it had was it was too quiet. It wasn't that it was bad in any way, it just wasn't enough of it. And I even didn't mind the Dovetail Games audio. I mean, it weren't fantastic, but I don't think you actually heard the compressor, which we are now. Anyway, this is New Malden. Certainly nothing like the Malden that I'm familiar with in Essex. As you can see, I yeah, pay a lot of attention to that one. Right, so yeah, gotta be a bit careful when I'm going up to notch 4, because leaving the last two stations, notch 4 definitely resulted in hefty amounts of wheel spin. So I'll wait until we're into about 20 mph before engaging notch 4. And that, yeah, that seems much better. So Rains Park is our next stop. Now I'm sure Rains Park is considered Greater London. Now, does that mean the next stop's Wimbledon? It certainly looks like it. It is. Well, in that case, there's no doubt now we are in Greater London. There we go. So, at Rains Park, South London. Not familiar with this part of South London. Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything about it here. I know someone who can. I know that he's going to be doing a video on this route relatively soon. Jim's had a bit of a rough old time of it of late. He ended up having to have an overnight stay in hospital, so his video releases are a bit behind at the moment. But yeah, he'll be back. There's a good chance that those messages he was sending me earlier will be telling me something along those lines. Yeah, fine in notch 4 now, so yeah, I need to wait until we're doing 20 mph before I take us up to notch 4. I suspect if it was just a single unit, 4 cars, I wouldn't have had that problem. With 8 cars, bearing in mind they're not all powered, yeah, I think, I mean, 6 out of 8 is not a terrible amount. Certainly better than the 2 out of 10 that I had when I first tried putting these bloody custom consists together. So it's the Morpus board for the 30 mph speed limit that is coming up. I was braking way too early again. I know, it's hard to believe, isn't it, me doing that. So we're fine for the 30 zone now, which is just before this, well, I say tunnel. I suppose technically it is one, but it's very open for a tunnel. Southern Rail 375 over there. So yeah, this is Wimbledon, snobby old place, not a fan of it. And the old 375 over there may be a much more modern train, but yeah, give me the 455 over the 375 any day. So, right, remember, not going into notch 4 until we hit 20 mph, and we are currently in a 30 mph zone, so we're not going to be absolutely you know, shooting out of here like a torpedo. So we are entering the 40 zone. We've got quite a an uphill section coming up as we approach the Wimbledon flyover. Don't remember us using this part of the route before. 1 in 39. Well, that's something new. Yeah, definitely not use that, well, this stretch of track. We've got an extremely steep descent here. Yeah, 1 in 39 downhill. So now we are, yeah, completely on the other side of the line. We are about to enter a 60 zone, but we have Earlsfield Station coming up, so we're not going to be accelerating hugely. We will still accelerate a bit. Actually, no, we're only 0.4 away from it. Let's not do that. We'll coast her a bit. So, yep, Earlsfield. Again, another part of South London I'm not familiar with. So, pulling out of here, straight into a 60 zone. So now we can get some decent speed up while trying to avoid the possibility of any wheel slip. I think we're all right now. Yeah, that's all good. I wonder if we would have had this wheel slip if this was set in summer. Probably be about the only month where we may not have done. So, Clapham Junction is next. You bet your life it's going to be a very quiet looking Clapham Junction compared to normal. Or compared to the real thing. Normal in this game seems to be, yeah, it's like a ghost town. definitely need to slow down a bit more than we are. Okay, maybe we didn't need to do that. So there's a 444 passing us. Looks like that could be the only other train in Clapham Junction. Oh no, we've got two 375s over there. They might be 377s, but usually when I see southern emus that look like that, it's a safer bet that it's a 375. So, Clapham Junction, which is of course Battersea. Well, there's another 455 there. The 2375s have buggered off. Yeah, this is way too quiet. I think we are going to lose some FPS as we proceed from here, because we are getting quite close to central London. Waterloo is only like 3.8 miles away. So speed, max speed decrease then is already in effect. It's now 50 maximum. That's still fine. So we can see the Shard there in the distance. Of course we know that London Bridge Station is right at the base of that. But we are not heading there. Still got at least one station to go. Might even be a couple of them. So there goes another 375. We are in fact now in another 60 zone. I didn't see where that started to take effect. So Vauxhall Station's next, so yeah, there is only one more station. Queenstown Road, we have Nine Elms Junction coming up. I felt sure there was a Nine Elms station. It might be that it's only on the overground, it might be on the northern line, you know, the underground line. Well, if anyone knows, it will be Jim. I mean, he lives in this area, so... That's a 450. So we are now in the 40 zone. Vauxhall station is quite a bit shorter, I think, than a lot of the other stations we've been going through. Well, if it is shorter, then okay, it's nowhere near, yeah, by nowhere near as much as I thought it was. So here we are at Vauxhall, our penultimate stop. We have another 455 right next to us. You can see what I mean about, yeah, it looks great in the Network South East livery. That one is now buggering off. No idea where to. Probably Guildford. So we set off for the final part of the run. You can see the House of Parliament right there. So the last just over a mile to Waterloo. Pretty sure ours there is the only green aspect on that entire gantry. Yeah, we need to start losing some speed here. So we're fine for the 15 MPH section which we're approaching. Has the yellow aspect up ahead, signalling that we are bound for platform 3, which is where we're supposed to be. So it's all looking pretty good. We're now in the 15 zone. This train does have TPWS, so I certainly want to make sure we're not going too fast as we go into into the station itself. we go, that should be fine. Oh. I'm not sure which train that is. It's usually a fairly safe guess that it's a 411. Yeah, it's one of the first networks southeast. Just has the decals rather than the actual livery, so I'm sure that is a 411. Hopefully we'll get right up to the but there we are. See how we did. Yeah, see plenty of space between us and the buffers there. But there we go. That was Woking to London Waterloo in the class 455, which is a fantastic emu. I'm a huge fan of the 455, love these things. Yeah, I realise it's not the loco that was asked for, but yeah, the ball ache that trying to do that was giving me has resulted in me, the new rule, no custom consists for multiple units. For locomotives, no problem at all, but not multiple units. It's just too much aggravation. But yeah, that was a great run. So I like this route anyway, the London to Portsmouth Direct Line, and I'm a big fan of the 455. Completely clean run, no operational errors of any kind. Can't argue with that. Good stuff. So there we go. That is that video done, and we will see you at the next one.